Hey, I'm Siobhan, community cultivator and founder of BEFREE Project. The BEFREE Project podcast was created for community, sisterhood, and personal growth. Each week, you'll be inspired and motivated to do the work to show up for yourself so you too can feel fulfilled and be free. Now grab a pen and a notebook and let's get into the show. The best decision that you can make today is joining the BEFREE Inner Circle at BeFreeInnerCircle.com, a community for like-minded women to find their forever friends and get accountability to do their personal growth work. Your membership includes a private, exclusive community of women who are not only showing up for themselves, but for one another. Weekly live events with me and or guest speakers. Daily accountability, so this way you can finally get stuff done, mentorship from yours truly, and so much more. Now, there's no long-term commitment and you can cancel at any time. However, I can guarantee the moment you join, you're going to feel a warm embrace and you're going to want to stick around. Every single member of the BEFREE Inner Circle will walk away with clarity, fulfillment, and confidence because guess what? When you're around me, you're going to win. So come and grow inside the BEFREE Inner Circle at BeFreeInnerCircle.com. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the BEFREE Project podcast. As always, I'm so delighted that you chose to listen in for another week. So this week, I am loving my new skates. Yes, I have another new pair of skates, which is from the company Impala Skates is what it's called. And I purchased a rose gold pair of beautiful skates with marble wheels. And when I tell y'all, they are beautiful. If you haven't seen them yet, you can go to my IG page and you'll see I snapped a picture of them and I shared them. And so now I have indoor skates and I have outdoor skates and I am in love. That's what I'm in love with this week. All right. So today I want to talk about moving on after a friendship breakup. And I wanted to have this conversation because I did an episode about how to heal from a friendship breakup. And when I tell you so many women have reached out to me, whether in the DMs on Instagram, whether I've received an email, or I've even seen some people in person saying how much they needed that episode. And then also women want to know what do they do next, right? So now that the friendship is over, how do they move forward? So I want to kind of do like a continuation of that episode to support you if you have went through a friendship breakup, maybe you're going through one, and I want to offer you some advice on how to move forward. And so the first thing that I definitely want you to do is to go back, if you haven't yet, and listen to the episode, How to Heal from a Friendship Breakup, because I talk about my exact process on how I had to grieve the ending of a 25-year friendship and heal from everything that came up before I was able to open myself up to new friendships. So if you haven't yet, definitely go back and listen to that. Now, I first want to address something that I think is very, very, very important, and is based on all of the conversations that I've been having, whether they happen inside the BEFREE Inner Circle or just conversations with women in other spaces, is that just because a friendship ended, that doesn't mean that something is wrong with you, right? Friendships could end just because you're in a different season of your life. And the season that you had the friendship, it was great. And now you're in a different place. And so I want you to know that there's nothing wrong with you, that is actually natural for friendships to end and is something that's not often talked about in comparison to romantic relationships or family drama and things like that. So because it's not a topic that gets discussed often as it relates to a friendship breakup, if you experience one, you feel like you're the only one that is going through it, or you must be weird or something just because you're experiencing the pain that you're carrying. So it's natural for you to go through a friendship breakup. There's nothing wrong with you. You know, there's friendships that you will have that will be seasonal, right? So people that you will have in your life for a specific season. There are some friends that come into your life for a specific reason. And then you have friends that are here for a lifetime. And it's very important that you know where your friendships fall. And so if a friendship ended, maybe it was just a seasonal friendship. Or maybe this person was in your life for a certain reason, and now that time is up. What I've learned as it relates to friendship breakups is that there's a lot of emotional feelings that come up. So you may feel disappointed. You may feel angry. You may feel lonely. You may feel sad, just to name a few. But all of your feelings are valid. There's nothing wrong with anything that comes up for you emotionally as it relates to the ending of your friendship. And so I want you to release the thought or the feeling that something has to be wrong because the ending of the friendship is affecting you in a way that you didn't expect it to. One other thing that I want to point out is that it is natural for friendships to end without drama. It doesn't always have to be mess that comes along with it. It could be you just saw things very differently and you're choosing to move forward, and it doesn't have to be a dramatic experience. So I will say that healing is definitely a priority before you can move on. And you really want to take time to think through everything that you experienced in the friendship so that way you can grieve and you can heal. And then that way you can move forward. And that's what I'm going to talk about with you today is how do you move forward after the friendship is over? And if the friendship is definitely over, then the next steps that I'm going to share with you will help you move on. So before we get into that, I created an amazing free resource for you called the How-To Guide to Finding Your Forever Friend. And I created this resource because it's exactly what I've used to, number one, become a better friend to myself, but then also attract the most amazing friends in my life that feel like home. And so I will share the link in the show notes so then that way you can download it for yourself and begin doing your work as it relates to friendship. So then that way you too can begin to attract the friends that you want. So go ahead and download that by clicking the link in my show notes. First things first, when it comes to moving on from a friendship that is now over, I want you to take time out for yourself. Check in with yourself, right? Get to know who you are and focus on pouring back into you. When a friendship is over, I know when my friendship ended, I spent a lot of time thinking through, okay, how do I want to show up going forward? What do I need to do for myself so then that way I can heal, I can learn whatever lesson needed to be learned, and I can move forward with grace and ease. And then that way I wouldn't repeat the same patterns and behaviors in new friendships that happened in the old one. So take time to date yourself, love on yourself, get to a really healthy place before you begin to look for new friendships. Next, and this is important, okay? I don't want you to wait for an apology if you felt that you were done wrong. Accept that what happened, and whether your friend apologizes to you for her actions or not, I don't want you to spend your life waiting on it because that will cause you to be stuck in your life. So forgive her and move on. And just know that you may never get the apology that you feel that you deserve, but I don't want it to hold you up from your growth. Now, let me just say this. If you are the friend that caused harm to another friend in some kind of way, own up to it and apologize. She can choose if she wants to accept your apology or not. But if you've done something wrong in some way, shape, or form, go back and apologize. But I don't want you carrying guilt because you never did the right thing. All right. So if you owe someone an apology, make sure you do that. If you are owed an apology and you don't get it, accept it and move on. The next thing, and again, we're talking all about moving on after a friendship breakup. Eliminate all communication going forward. So delete their phone number from your phone. Unfollow them on social media platforms. This doesn't mean that you're disrespectful or you're rude or anything like that, but you definitely want to protect your energy by any means necessary, right? So if the friendship is officially over, there's no going back. End all communication. That is what helped me for sure. I definitely had to take action as it relates to protecting my energy because I didn't want to, get triggered every time this friend's name came up or I saw something on social or things like that. So I made sure that, I handled what I needed to do in order to protect myself, and I encourage you to do the same. The next thing is I want you to reflect on what you've learned, right? Focus on the positive things that happened in your relationship. Look at this friendship as a learning experience and think through how you can show up differently as you make new friends in your life again, so you're not repeating the same patterns and behaviors. And this could take time, right? And this is where you want to get your journal out and write down, okay, what are all of the positive things or the memories that you want to hold on to? And then what are the things where you've learned your lesson, so then that way you don't have to duplicate it again, okay? Next is, and this is where the how-to guide to finding your forever friends is really going to help you out when you download that. Again, the link is in my show notes. I want you to write down, what do you need in a friendship? When I tell you, this was the biggest game changer for me. And prior to the friendship breakup, I hadn't taken this step. But that was one of the things that I learned is that, you have to be crystal clear about what it is that you want in a friend. The same way you would write down or think through what you wanted in a romantic partner, you have to do the same thing in your friendships. And so I took time and I journaled out everything that I needed and wanted in a friend. And so when I was ready to build new friendships with women, I knew exactly what I wanted. And guess what? I attracted that and then some. Everything that's on my list, the friends that are close to me, they are in alignment with my list. But when you don't know what you want and you're just taking any friend that come your way, then you're setting yourself up for failure. So again, write down what you want. So this way, when you're making new friends, it's in perfect alignment to what you need and want. And again, the how-to guide to finding your forever friends is going to be a great support. So don't forget to download that. The next thing is, I want you to be open to making new friends. So the trust may have been broken in your prior friendship and you feel like you can't trust women. Just know that there are amazing women in this world that you can be friends with. And just because you had a relationship that ended, that doesn't mean that you can't have a new, beautiful friendship with women that you meet at this point, now that you're emotionally and mentally healthy. Believe that making new friendships is possible for you, and you literally can meet friends anywhere. Whether you use the internet and find them on social media, whether you go to a coffee shop, whether you volunteer at an organization, maybe you go to a conference and you meet friends there. Like, be open-minded that you can meet friends anywhere. I don't want you to be closed-minded where you feel like, I can only make new friends in spaces that I'm comfortable at, like your job or church. No, you can meet new friends anywhere, but it's all about being open-minded and believing that it's possible for you. Next, accept that all friends aren't necessarily going to be your forever friends. We are adults now, and guess what? People change due to life experiences. So what you were attracted to in college and maybe high school, maybe in your early 20s, now that your life is changing, and maybe you're a mom now, maybe you got married, maybe you got divorced, I don't know, but you're in a different space, and it's natural. It is natural for friends to grow apart. And so accept that. So then that way, when a friendship ends, you're not feeling guilty or feeling bad or like something is wrong with you because that friendship is no longer. People change. And sometimes what happens is that, and I'm going to talk about this in another episode, everyone can accept your change. And so it is okay that you naturally grow apart from friends that you grew up with based on where you're at in this season of your life. And then lastly, I want you to surround yourself with positive friends and stay around people that allow you to be you. Right? Surround yourself around people that want the most authentic version of yourself. That way you don't have to pretend and put on. And you know what I'm going to tell you, that the BEFREE Inner Circle is the perfect place to begin to build new friendships and relationships with women who are like-minded. What do I mean by like-minded? Every single woman in the community, the membership community, they are on a personal growth journey. They are in a positive state of mind where they're looking to grow. They're not in there just for the sake of being in there, but they're there to do their work so that way they can find fulfillment and they can be free. If that's an interest of yours and you want accountability with doing your personal growth work, but you also want to build real, genuine friendships, I invite you to join the BEFREE Inner Circle at BeFreeInnerCircle.com. When you go to the page, it's going to give you everything that you need to know about the community. Again, the website is BeFreeInnerCircle.com. I do want to share 2 resources with you as well, and I'll link to both of these books inside the show notes. Is that if you're really looking to level up your friendship game, read the book Big Friendship. And then another book you can read is called Frientimacy. And I interviewed the author of Frientimacy several months ago, so you can go back and listen to that episode as well. Your journal prompt for this week is, what's the last thing that you've learned? And your affirmation is, I was created to be abundant. Now I want to shout out my coffee giver of the week, which is Linda Mallory, who is a member of the BEFREE Inner Circle, and she bought me 3 coffees. And she says, always inspired by you. Enjoy. Thank you, Linda. And I appreciate that. And you too can support my work and treat me to coffee by clicking the link in the show notes, whether you do 1 cup, 2 cup, 3 cups, whatever. I am totally grateful to continue to do this work for you. And if you're inspired and motivated by my work in any way, shape, or form, definitely feel free to treat me to a cup of coffee. And again, the link is in my show notes. Don't forget, every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go live on Instagram. I would love for you to come hang out with me. So set a reminder on your phone right now. And then if you can't catch me live, be sure to catch the replay and just let me know you watched the replay. All right, so I told you that I'm doing this new thing where I want to hear from you and I want to include my community within my podcast. So now you can ask me a question or share your thoughts about any episode around personal growth and or friendship. And that phone number is 216-438-0830. And just leave a voicemail with your name, where you're from, and then ask your question around personal growth or friendship, or share your thoughts about any of the episodes. I'll play it live on my podcast and respond to you in real time. I'm really excited about this because I get so many questions all the time, and I think that this is a perfect way to include my community as a community cultivator in my work. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. 5-star rating would be deeply appreciated, along with a sentence or 2 of what you thought about the episode. And then text your friends and say, hey girl, listen to this episode, and then let's talk about it when you're done. I would love for you to get your friends involved, again, so you can begin to nurture your relationships and then be learning the same stuff. And then, as always, you can share the episode on IG. Just tag me at Siobhan Sudbury, or you can tag me at BEFREE Project, and I'll be sure to see it. And until next time, girl, be free.
My name is Samidra Carter, and I am from Baltimore, Maryland. And what I love about BEFREE Inner Circle and why I've joined is because of Siobhan Light. When I seen her on Instagram, I was like, who is this person with such a great light? And I had to be a part of BEFREE Inner Circle. And I'm so happy and so grateful that I became a part of this amazing community of women, because I have learned so much. I have grown so much. I have gotten free from a lot of things that I carried inside internally. Mentally, I dealt with tons of anxiety around women, and a lot of stuff has changed in this short period of time. This has really increased even my gifts, like my writing, and I'm like, what's the next step? What I need to do? I'm always motivated, and this is the type of community that you will have if you join BEFREE Inner Circle. I have no regrets, and if anyone's deciding to be a part of BEFREE, I encourage you, go for it. Be a part of BEFREE Inner Circle.